Hello everyone and welcome to Unfiltered. My name is Matthew and in today's video we are going to discuss Exo Kitty Season 2. Now, I just want to put some disclaimers here. I am a 42-year-old man and I watched the series. I think it's a way to go back into the youth. I also watched Heartstopper. I did another video on that, which made that show made me depressed because it is so good, and it's almost like a TikTok video where you get that adrenaline rush and you just want more. So when you stop, you feel like you're maybe having withdrawal. So it's interesting to discuss Exo Kitty season 2 after watching Heartstopper season 2 and 3 because I had watched season 1, but wow. Um, if you haven't watched Heartstopper, a really great series. So I have to say, like, I really do enjoy the cast here for Exo Kitty, and I saw some reviews that indicated that this season the chemistry did not feel the same as in the previous season, and I can agree with that. One of the challenges with this season is that there's so much storyline going on with each of the characters. Kitty herself, who has multiple things going on, and then her friends, their relationship, and then some additional drama added to the season. Now, if when I was watching season 1, if you asked me, Matthew, do you want a season 2? I would say yes, enthusiastically. Now, with this one in season 2, if you asked me, I would say yes. We definitely need some closure in this season. We don't need a season that ends in a cliffhanger. So I say yes, but realizing that there are some flaws in this season. Now, I want to get into the story and the characters, but basically the story is that Kitty's back after being kicked out of Kiss Academy, right? And it's really interesting how they explain that she's back. She is kicked out the first time, and the ex dean, I think, of the school, right? She loses her job because of the drama and things that have happened at the school, and somehow she has enough leverage to get Kitty back for the next semester. So Kitty's back. Really, don't touch on it too much, but Kitty as a character, um, I do want to go through just a few things with Kitty because I find her interesting in the sense of, like, I think in season 2 they are definitely going to have to change a few things. Um, now, Kitty is figuring herself out, which I do enjoy about the series. She is exploring bisexuality. So in this season, she will be dating women and men. And I think that during your youth, especially during the college years, that's when you're more open to exploring who you are. Maybe dating, a little bit more, boys if you're just dating boys, or if you are, LGBTQ, you're going to experiment there as well to figure things out. And sometimes you verify that, yes, I am gay, or you say, you know what, I actually do like boys more, but I like girls, but just not as much. You know, that is the freedom of being youthful and feeling like you have those opportunities and you feel less restricted. You feel more ambitious than when you get older. Now, in season 1, I was wondering, how's Kitty even passing? Because she has so much time that she's spending with her family's drama and trying to figure out about her mom. And not only that, navigating the relationship today as well. So in this season, Kitty makes a promise very early on, says, this is going to be Kitty 2.0. I am not going to fail. And I'm like, in this season, wondering, with everything going on, how you passing, girl? Like, I'm not sure if you're an A student here or even at the top. And I don't think the show really conveys that she is the best student. In fact, they really don't mention much of her studies in this season. Now, she is very focused on finding more about her mother, and more specifically, the her mother's grandmother and sister's relationship, because there was a falling out there prior to her mother passing, and reuniting potentially the family and discovering that. So that's what Kitty's family drama is associated with. And then she has other drama going on with friends, and of course, her dating Yuri. or exploring her feelings for Yuri, and then Minho discovering whether or not where they stand. Um, Now, Kitty does date someone else in the show as well, and I think that is kind of the mess of experiencing youth. Now, it is interesting. I want to say this: Anna Cathcart plays Kitty very well. But I've noticed something in season two. And in the movies that this is based on, Kitty is annoying. I just want to put it out there. Like, I was like, oh my God, she's so annoying. Going into the intrusiveness of sending out those letters uh, for her sister to all her crushes. I was like, girl, you're crossing lines. And season one, I was like, okay, you're annoying, but I can see you're kind of sweet. I can get why, people like you. Now, in this season, she crosses the line a little bit more where I'm going, oh, Kitty, you're overly intrusive. And this is, breaking some boundaries. Now, I think the show realized that Kitty's potentially annoying because they have a line where Minho says, oh, Kitty is annoying and intrusive, but she's a good person. And I go, you know what? You're right. Her heart is in the right place. She just is a little chaotic about how she pursues things. Now, I think that Kitty could be at times in the show labeled a bad friend for not respecting certain boundaries, but the show does a good job of not crossing that line too much, for me, at least. I was like, okay, I get it. Her heart's in the right place. What I found interesting in this season is that Min Ho plays a larger role. Now, he was Day's friend and did not like Kitty in the season one, but expressed his emotions to Kitty at the end of season one. And they kind of continue a little bit of that storyline in this season. Now, Min Ho is basically more in the forefront because his father funds the creative arts program at KISS because KISS is struggling for money. And in some ways, I can tell that the show maybe had a smaller budget, and KISS I could understand is struggling for money, and I'll explain why. But I want to focus first on the storyline here. So, Day is, you know, dating this new girl and is the villain of the season, unfortunately, unbeknownst to him, and has a grudge against his father, who embarrassed her when she had auditioned for a talent show like American Idol. And she wants to get back at his father for that. Now, I can see why Kitty does like Minho. He is much more in depth, and you get to see that he's a good person in this season. So it definitely is explained pretty well. But I think, like one of the reviewers said, when I compare Heartstopper to this season, when Kitty's having her crush moments, it doesn't feel as strong as in Heartstopper. So I definitely can see why there's difficulty with individuals going, there's just so much going on. We're not giving enough time for us to maybe get that connection that Kitty's having. Now, one character that unfortunately suffers in this season is Day. And in the first season, Day was the main love interest of Kitty, but he was awkward, right? Um, I don't think he knew how to express himself. Uh, and he's a good friend, but in this season, he continues to be awkward. His father gets into an accident, and as we discovered in season one, Day does not have a lot of money. So it's very important that he does well in school. So it is with reason that when his father is, let's say, injured, that Day is going to focus a lot on this contest and trying to win. So with Minho's father doing this contest as a talent show contest, and you potentially can gain a spot as one of his top entertainers or new entertainers. And Day kind of backtracks sometimes. Like they're doing a scene where they're practicing the choreography, and Day doesn't like it. And he's like, "That's it. No, I can't do this." And there's this love interest, Eunice, and he tells her, he goes, "I thought you were a rich girl, and why are you pretending to be a rich girl?" And he criticizes her a lot. I'm just like, "Why, girl, you're being here with him?" And she still likes him. Uh, his character largely falls into the background, to be honest, in this season. And I would like to see in season 3, if they do one, for him to come out of the box, because I feel like this character, it's like you have to wonder, oh, it's like, how did he become friends with everybody? He's so awkward. I don't really see the friendship aspect of the relationship between the friends. Now, his friends at the end of the season's Day's friends support him after the villain, Stella, poisons his dancers, basically gives them diarrhea, and he has no backup dancers. In fact, also the music is ruined. So his friends, Kitty, go, we watched you do the dance moves, so we know them. And I was thinking, is this realistic? Because I did the Apple Dance by Charlie XCX, um, and I was bad at it, but it took me practice. If someone was walking on me, it would be hugely embarrassing. But I was like, maybe in the TikTok age, they can just learn the moves. Maybe everybody is a good dancer. I mean, when I watched it, I was like, okay, they're a little bit sloppy, but you know what? They did a good job. Um, and then his teacher, actually the dean, helps and plays the guitar to make up for the lack of the track that's messed up. And then Day gets off the stage and doesn't even thank them. He's like, "Oh, thank you, bye." So you definitely see the awkwardness here. Um, with him. Now, Yuri, who is Kitty's other love interest, is in a relationship with her girlfriend who is now at KISS because they were both separated in separate schools. Now, the relationship with Kitty and Yuri is a little bit complicated. I think that, Yuri kind of crosses some boundaries and needs to respect the relationship that Yuri's in. Unfortunately, KISS, it creates a huge um, issue. And the one aspect I don't understand that Yuri or Kitty doesn't have is boundaries. So Yuri does not want to talk to Kitty after the relationship with her girlfriend is ruined. And rightfully so, in the sense of like, listen, I, yes, I like you and stuff, but that shouldn't have happened. I need to get back with my girlfriend. I can't have her see you with me every single time when I'm trying to get back with her. And then Kitty's like, no, no, I'm sorry. And all of a sudden the girlfriend sees them together and it just makes things worse. So at the end of the season, you basically see like Yuri and Kitty are not going to end up together. And I was like, Kitty, you're going through your emotions, but you just hurt the relationship with Yuri. Um, Maybe it was for the best. We will see. But more drama is hinted with Yuri's character as her family is out of money, and Day's father is in a class action lawsuit against Yuri's family. So I think that's going to cause tension between Yuri and Day in season 3. Now, Stella is the new character, and only for this season because she is the villain. And I have to say, let me put a picture of her here, that I'm not sure how the drama of adding this character, it seems a little grand for the season, which makes it feel disconnected because it makes Kitty seem like she is an investigator as well as, I don't know, figuring out her family at the same time. Like, she's like Harriet the Spy now, Kitty. She could do anything when it comes to investigation. I think she might as well go for school for like maybe the CIA or something now, Kitty. Uh, but Stella, like I said earlier, is trying to get at Minho's father. And I think that there's a reveal for this character. And I the way they reveal the character is like this is supposed to be her big moment. She's supposed to look, rather attractive in her dress. And I feel, to tell you the truth, that scene fell flat, not because of the actress, but because of the wardrobe. I think they gave her a slit like black dress and it was asymmetrical on the top, did not flatter her well. They gave her transparent kind of black gloves and like a choker around her neck. And then she had her hair down straight. And I thought, like, there are other ways for a youthful person to be betrayed. And if you're trying to go like, hey, this is our big reveal, that outfit was not it. And I'm just saying that as a gay man. I was like, nope, that outfit was not right for this scene. And I felt like it was a disservice to the actress, to be honest. So Stella as a character, I'm not sure if the drama, to be honest, was really worth the payoff at the end. Especially because it's just like, okay, quick, done. Oh, you know what, she's not so bad, and yeah, you got to get kicked out of the contest, but I hope that you're well. And the father apologizes to her. Now, I want to say this as well. When we get to the final episode of season 2, for me, this is where it falls apart because you have Minho's brother promoted as this huge pop star and performer. And you have Eunice, Day's girlfriend, do her performance and Day do his performance. And theirs felt good, but I have to say, like with the budget and Kiss struggling, it makes sense because the audience is very small. Even earlier in the season, when they have the auditorium, the dean says like, "Okay, faculty and students," and I was like, "This is not barely. This is a very small room, and this is the faculty and students. Of course, the school is struggling. There's hardly anybody here." So when I saw Minho's brother perform, those lyrics were very simple. It was like, and it was very interesting because it was like, "I'm my dad's number one, and one and done, and I'm his number one son." It was very simple. That was basically the lyrics, and I found some things went in my head. I was like, if Minho said to his father, like, "He's your other son is your favorite," and he was like, "Don't, what makes you think that?" Well, it's in his lyrics that are also produced probably by you. So yeah, Dad, what do you think I'm gonna feel? It's the number one hit, and everyone's singing to it. And to tell you the truth, it makes me feel sad for the audience in the show because it makes me look at the audience like, you like this? Because it's so simple. Like, where's the connection? I mean, it's not even boppy, the song. It's not even something like you go, "Oh, yeah, I can understand it. It has good beat to it, despite the simple lyrics." Um, so I'm like, wow, like, this is how your dad is making money. This is his top artist, his son. I was like, oh my gosh. It's funny when I looked over at my boyfriend, he was like, he was like laughing. He was like, it's so bad. I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. I was like, oh my gosh. I think that the show. I was like, what happened here? Because did the actor fight with production and they were like, that's it, we're writing a crappy song for you, and he's like, I am the pop star of this show, blah blah blah, and they're like, you're not that big, dude, and then they wrote this for him. So if there's two characters that the show definitely fails, it's Stella, I think, and it's also Minho's brother, because this performance was terrible. Now, it, so just looking at the show, I saw that on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience gave it a 64%, which does align with my 6 out of 10. Now, this season was supported by Minho, I have to say. The drama didn't really work this season because there's just so much. It was nice to see Q develop a relationship, um, you know, with another guy who is also competing in racing, or I don't even know what you call it. Is it jogging, sprinting, track and field? I think, I don't know, but it was cute. Kitty played with the borderline of being annoying, which did hurt the show a little bit. Relationships, I agree, did feel disconnected, especially when you compare it to other shows such as Heartstopper. Maybe the actors in the seasons didn't have the same chemistry as before. Maybe there's some internal squabbles. I have no idea. I'm just making things up. But the show didn't do a good job of supporting its rock star, like I said. That character, I was like, oh my gosh. And there were some budget cuts that, to me, it felt like there's budget cuts in the show because the concert felt very small. The auditorium with the school gathering felt very small. And some of the character, I did enjoy actually some of the character drops that they had from the movies. So I'm just going to put a picture here quickly. So you had, one of the characters drop in, and then you also had Kitty's sister drop in as well from the movies. So that was nice. Um, I think that it's nice to connect back to that. Uh, but it did seem a little bit forced in some instances, but I was all in for it because it was nice and nostalgic uh, to go back and remember the movies and the characters and see or be reminded that they're still in the same world, right? Now, I'm starting to feel that the show doesn't know what to do with Kitty, and I think that, to tell you the truth, if I were thinking about season 3, we need to elevate Kitty into being a little bit more matured, right? She is very sweet and she's very innocent, but eventually that gets a little bit old in the sense of like her being very intrusive and not knowing boundaries. So I think we kind of got to give Kitty a little bit more respect around boundaries. Like, okay, girl, you were experimenting, you were discovering yourself, but now you've been through that, you've learned lessons. Now, do not repeat those mistakes because otherwise it thinks you haven't learned anything. So I think that Day, like I also said, he's proving to be afterthought, and hopefully in the next season we'll get to see more. Let me know what you think. What did you think about Exo Kitty season 2? Did you enjoy it? Are there things that I'm calling out that are just incorrect? Did you love the pop song from Hino's brother? Um, did you find the lyrics very in depth? I was thinking that the girls who were, listening to it, like, how do you connect with this? Like, instead of like just thinking, yes, I'm also daddy's number one. I don't know. But until next time, thank you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, enjoy. Bye.